How are we doing, gents? Hope everyone is keeping well. Listen, I am just going to go through a newsletter I just wrote out there about the higher and lower self. A very interesting concept that kind of exists inside each and every one of us. And it's about tapping into that higher self, fulfilling our potential, doing what we know needs to be done, and, living a more fulfilling life. I think that is the bottom line of, achieving the higher self. And this is talked about from the ancient Stoics to Carl Jung. And I just think it's a very interesting concept. So I'm trying to, improve my writing skills. So this has been on my mind for a while. So I said I'd write out what I believe about it. And I use examples from Robert Greene as well. He talks about it in The Laws of Human Nature. So yeah, gonna go through it. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. But anyway, here I'm gonna go for it, right? You have free will. Whether you believe your life is predetermined or you're just fulfilling your destiny. You always have a decision to make in every moment. To reach for greatness in every decision or fall by the wayside of all the divine potential you have been blessed with by the higher powers above. The higher and lower self dilemma exists inside each and every human being that you meet and pass by today and tomorrow. It exists inside of you as well. But how do you grade yourself if you were asked to reflect on the self? Are you achieving the goal and ambitions you're looking to accomplish in life? Do you possess the physique that others respect and admire? Do you treat others with kindness and compassion? Do you act with the touchstones of goodness, as Marcus Aurelius would say? Do you demonstrate the virtues of courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice? How will you be remembered on your gravestone? Will they say he was good but not great? He was on the higher end of the lower self. No, never. That is not something that we want. So you can't settle for being unaware and unfulfilled with being average and being the lower self, because the thing is, you have a choice to be either the higher self, the best version of yourself, where you're fulfilling your mission in life. And what is that mission for you? Or are you passively letting life pass you by waiting to die and not contributing to the greatest creation that has ever walked the planet, which is the human race, which is ourselves? Is the light inside of you flourishing? Are you enriching your existence and the existence of others? The way of the higher self is to take care of oneself and to take care of others too. The Stoics knew how to tap into the higher self. They came up with the word for flourishing and the one who flourishes. Eudaimonia. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but eudaimonia. Aristotle first used this concept to indicate human happiness or flourishing, stemming from the Greek eu, which means happy or well, harmonious, and daimon, the individual spirit. So, the Stoics believed that virtue was enough to achieve eudaimonia, which means a well-lived life. The Stoics identified the path to achieving it with a life spent practicing the four virtues, like I mentioned, in every day: wisdom, courage, temperance, and moderation, justice, and living by nature. I actually repeated that point, I just realized. The philosopher Aristotle used it as a broad concept and described the highest good humans could strive for, or a well-lived life. I just realized I repeated myself there. But anyway, so when you tap into the higher self, you feel the sense of self-satisfaction, often seen in the actions or completing a project. Maintaining a healthy body, expanding the mind through learning, exerting the body through a physical task, and expressing a higher state of consciousness to the world. Operating from a higher frequency, that's really important. And I said, look up the cone of consciousness and you can understand how to operate from a higher frequency. But what is the opposite of this? To act by being self-destructive and feeding into the lower self. To be addicted to a detrimental substance. To lose control of your emotions and lash out at others and yourself. To start projects but never to completion. Remember, done is better than perfect. Always remember that. Done is better than perfect. I need to remember that myself. You want things to be easy and fast, displaying a lack of gratification for what you have been given, and not possessing the virtue of patience, indulging in momentary pleasures for that feeling of unease and guilt in ourselves for doing so. When we do something, whether it's, eating bad foods, that feeling of, instant gratification in the moment, but later on, you're not going to feel great about it. You're going to be uneasy. You have an uneasy feeling inside, and you've kind of done wrong, and your own body is telling you you've done wrong as well. So, yeah, indulging in momentary pleasures gives into that lower self. And said, once again, check out the cone of consciousness, because that cone of consciousness is basically, it demonstrates our emotions and the vibration of our emotions and where they are. And we'll tap into that lower state if we're just giving into things like, such as, whether it's pornography or drinking alcohol or, excessive time on the phone. It's not good. It's no bueno. And that's not what we want, right? Every human has the potential to be great and reach that state of eudaimonia. The choice is ours, the decision that we make today and onwards. We all have a higher and lower self. There will be times when you feel one part more strongly than the other. That's important to remember. If we have greater introspection of ourselves, we can find ourselves on the greater side. The lesser side is associated with the animal part of our nature, the monkey mind that has not been tamed. Instant gratification, to moan and complain over events we have control of. Our first impulse is to lean towards the lower self, as it is an easier decision. It serves as the voice, the conscious of our higher self. The voice is already there. We hear it at times, but it is weak. We need to increase the frequency with which we hear it and its volume. Think of this voice as dictating a code of behavior, and every day we must make ourselves listen to it. Now I need to probably clear that up. Basically that voice within, right? That voice within, that higher state of being, our higher selves, has to be heard. We have to speak up for ourselves. We have to make the right decision, basically, on a day-to-day basis. Just about, so basically you have the responsibility. You have to leave this world in a better place than you found it. And you are here to serve a higher purpose for yourself and the world around you. In a world full of endless distractions, you must focus and prioritize. You have to leave this world in a better place than you found it. You are here to serve a higher purpose for yourself and the world around you. I've repeated that point again. In a world full of endless distraction, you must focus and prioritize. Certain activities are a waste of time. Certain people of a low nature will drag you down, and you must avoid them. Keep your eye on the long and short-term goals and remain concentrated and alert. You must bring great attention to your behavior, thoughts, and actions, and they bring you closer to your higher self. And do they bring you closer to your higher self or further away? Keep in mind that your life is short and that it could end any day. You must have a sense of urgency to make the most of this limited time. This is not the end, but only the beginning. This text is to bring awareness to your consciousness, and I hope that one day you will reach a state of peace within your higher, most powerful self. There's much more about this higher self I'm yet to uncover, and I will do a further piece on what Carl Gustav Jung has to say about awaken your higher self within. Stay high, gents. And that is the newsletter. It's a bit long. I know I realized a few spelling mistakes and a few times I actually repeated myself, which is no bueno, but I definitely need to get better at this. And look, it's a task. But look, tapping into that higher self. We have a choice. What are we doing? Higher self, lower self. Hope this improves your day. And I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye. Mush.